Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be checking out the Circle of Sundering. This is described as a solo heroic dungeon, so this is very similar to something like Outlaw Island, where you fight solo a couple bosses and then you have a final boss, and it's all timed, so the faster you clear it, the better rankings you get depending on your class and overall rank. So it's very, very similar to that, honestly. So if you've done that, you already know how this works. But we're just going to be going over the rewards. Some of the rewards we already know, but the full list we never have gotten until today. So I thought it'd be relevant to at least check it out. Overall, basically the final boss, if you guys don't know, is Master Han, and he's in his his huge muscular form. I don't know what it's really called, but he's like looks like on steroids and stuff like that. So it might be, as they describe it, a surprising and emotional appearance. So maybe you'll cry a little bit like I will, but it's going to be very emotional, seeing Master Han. But anyways, some of the rewards are actually pretty good when you check them out. So basically how it works is you have these things called Tranquility Emblem Fragments, and when you have 10 of them gathered up, you can transmute them into a Tranquility Emblem. Not really transmute, I should say, but just transfer them over. Just the same way you would use, like, for example, like the Glory Tokens. You have Glory Token Fragments from Tower Affinity. When you have 10, you can automatically, transform it into the token. So this is the same way, except they're called emblems. And with these emblems, you actually can buy some really great stuff. Besides that, there's one thing I want to mention. They talked about when you defeat Master Han, he also drops some pretty good stuff from just him himself. And one thing he drops is a thing called the Shadow Treasure Chest. It has a chance to contain upgrade materials, they said. So I'm hoping it's stuff like Moonstones. Would love to see them put actual ways to get Moonstones. More ways is always better, I say, for the game. I think that's a great idea, so I hope they put Moonstones in there. At least Moonstone Crystals. They just put some in. It would really help. Also, you have a chance to get 100 gold. Who knows what the drop rate is on that? Who knows? If it has a drop rate of those old Lucian Promise chests, honestly, it's probably going to be garbage, because those never gave 100 gold to me, at least. I barely ever saw one during the whole time they were out. But who knows, maybe it has a decent drop rate. But overall, you might get something decent from him. He also has a chance to drop the Inner Fire costume. That's this one right here. Personally, I don't really care for it. It's just kind of meh. But maybe you saw one and you're just like, oh my god, it's beautiful, and maybe you'll want to farm him all day just for the costume. But overall, that's the costume. Besides that, the big most important stuff is the Tranquility Emblems and what you can get from those. So when you have 5 Tranquility Emblems, you actually can buy the bracelets. Now these are unrefined bracelets. What they're used for is to actually upgrade the legendary bracelet dropped from Sandstorm Temple. So if you guys don't know, the Sandstorm Temple bracelet that's dropped currently right now, you can't actually upgrade it to be usable until you get these bracelets from Master Han. So literally, if you have it right now, it's completely useless because you can't upgrade it into an actual powerful form. I believe the unupgradable version of it only gives like 4 attack power or something. It's just like total garbage. So you have to use these to break through for that. So anyone who has that bracelet is going to want these. Honestly, everyone's going to want these, because eventually you're going to need the legendary bracelet from Sandstorm Temple. It's a better version of Divine Dragon and Tiger bracelet, so obviously it's definitely wanted from everyone in the game. Another thing, I did mention this already, but Sandstorm Temple, if you do 100 runs, you actually, Jonathan confirmed, you can buy it from a vendor. So you do 100 runs of that, you can buy it from the vendor for 250. I believe healing cores might be 300. It's around there. I believe 250 though. But overall, so if you have really bad RNG, personally, I don't see it ever dropping for me. Those things, legendary accessories, never drop for me for some reason. So it's nice to know, as long as you do 100 runs, you at least can guarantee get the bracelet. But after that, you're gonna want to farm Master Han for these unrefined bracelets, depending on what path you went for the legendary bracelet. But overall, these are only 5, so this is actually not too bad. It shouldn't take you that long to get these, because you get 2 from each completion. So if you just farm this, a couple times a day, you can get this pretty damn fast. Honestly, I thought it'd be way more. I thought it'd be like maybe 10 or 20 emblems. So I like that they put it so low. That's really nice that they did that. Other thing is called these gloves. I don't really know too much about them, to be honest, because I don't really PvP. But maybe if you do battlegrounds a lot and you do 6v6, these might be really important to you. I'm not really too sure, honestly. But yeah, I don't really do PvP, so I don't really know. But you need 12 of those, so I'm assuming they're pretty decent Because honestly, there's actually kind of a lot of emblems for them. So I'm assuming they're actually pretty decent, but I'm not really too sure. So sorry about that. Besides that, there is an inner light ornament. You can get that for 6 emblems. So that's just obviously, you know, a headpiece, probably that little like gem thing. So I really think it's worth 6 emblems, but you can if you really want it. Besides that, there are obsidians, so that you can buy one of them for 60 emblems, which is honestly kind of a lot. I don't really know how I feel about that. That's a lot of runs, because you only get 2 per run that you finish. So you're going to have to do it multiple times every day for weeks on weeks on weeks to get 1 obsidian. Obviously, you know, if you're like a full geared whale and you clear this very fast, that's actually not too bad. But for the average player, it's going to be kind of not really worth. But, you know, I'm still glad they're actually putting ways to farm them, because really trying to get these gems are very hard. There's not too many options. You either like farm Transcendent Engine from Iron Tech Forge, which never drops, or there's not really too many ways to actually get this. So I'm glad that they put in ways to get obsidians, because they're just so rare to actually farm them. But still, 60 is kind of a lot in my opinion. I think they could have done like 40 or something like that, and definitely been fair. As I said, it is like Outlaw Island and stuff like that, or Tower of Infinity, anything like that. So it is seasonal. So once the season ends, if you place high, if you like, you know, you have a good record, aka kill Master Han, clear the whole run very fast, you get, you know, season rewards. So one thing is the inner light costume. Again, I don't really care for the costume, but it is 60 days, so it only lasts for 2 months, and then it expires, just like all the other costumes that are seasonal. And then there's also seasonal rewards. So Honmoon SP charms, venture tokens, just like the average stuff that you get from any season type based rewards. So nothing too crazy. But overall, the rewards are actually pretty damn good. So let's say, you know, they said Master Han has an RNG chance to drop a chest that contains materials. Let's say they put Moonstone Crystals in there. That's great, they're adding Moonstone Crystals, but it's still not really helping new players or not super geared players, because it's not going to be an efficient way for them to farm for the crystals like it would be for someone like an endgame whale who can clear this super fast. So I feel like they might be doing some helpful things, but it's still not super good for the game. And don't get me wrong, I like that they're adding endgame content. There's nothing wrong with that. But I would love to see them still add in new player content to help out the new players. Put in, if you guys have played long enough, put in a Nebula Stone event. Help people gear up their accessories and weapons faster with the Nebula event. If you guys don't know what that is, just, you know, check it out on YouTube. It's past events where the Nebula Stone basically helps you upgrade your weapon easier. It makes the materials less and the gold less. I think they should do that. That'd be great for new players. Overall, though, don't want to rant too far off. That's Master Han. One thing I did forget to mention is every time you complete it, the daily quest, you get the 2 fragments, and you also are guaranteed a Circle of Sundering reward chest. Now, the reward chest is an RNG chance to drop additional emblems. So, you know, you might get an emblem or 2, you might not get none. It is RNG, but, you know, so besides the 2 guaranteed emblem fragments that you get, you have a chance to get the emblems themselves from the chest every time you do the daily quest every day. So again, not a ton of ways to get the emblems and fragments. You're just going to have to do it every day, and then hopefully get lucky with the chest. But overall, not too bad. Most people will be doing this for the bracelet for sure to upgrade that. But yeah, that's the Circle of Sundering, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Honestly, you know, closer they get to the patch, they'll be releasing more information on everything. So obviously when they release that, I'll definitely be covering it. I can't wait to cover the patch notes. It's one of my favorite things to do. So definitely stay tuned for sure. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys really soon.